Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Just bring them your project online or with the Angie app, answer a few questions, and Angie will connect you with local pros who match your specific needs. Or book a service instantly at an upfront price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to care for their homes and get your next home service job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Oh, no, that's just not fair. Come on over here. Come here, darling.
This is the plaintiff, Paul LaCaruba. He says he gave the defendant his very expensive remote-controlled helicopter to sell on consignment at his shop, and the guy lost it. He claims it was stolen. He believes he isn't liable for paying him the amount the helicopter was worth, and he's here to set the Whirly-Bird straight. He's suing for $4,000, the cost of a new helicopter. This is the defendant, Sean Kirsten. He says he owns a hobby store, and the plaintiff's helicopter was unfortunately stolen. According to the consignment agreement he has with the plaintiff, he isn't responsible for stolen items. He's sorry the helicopter took off mysteriously, but the plaintiff is owed nothing. He's accused of losing a chopper.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Paul LaCaruba?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Tri-County Hobbies Incorporated, represented here by Sean Kirsten?
Yes.
You're the owner?
Yes,
okay,
I am.
for $4,000, the amount you say they owe you for a Line T-Rex 800 remote control helicopter
Yes.
that you had left on consignment at their shop. Tell me what happened.
On February 14th, I brought the helicopter in because I hadn't been using it on a consignment.
And what does this helicopter do?
Flies, it's remote control helicopter.
Okay, why do adults have that? Like, what? I mean to sound condescending. I'm saying obviously this is
toys,
obviously you're in business because they do. So I get it. You're not the only guy who. But what is so fancy about him that would make him worth $4,000?
Well, his particular helicopter was a very large helicopter, probably about 4 feet in length. It had a GPS unit on it, so it can autonomously fly. There's guys that do 3D stunts with it. There's guys
stunts,
that do, just fly for the enjoyment of flying.
Did you do stunts with the helicopter?
No.
What'd you do with it?
Just flew it. I'm not that good at it.
And is this your first helicopter, or have you had others?
This is about the third one.
Third one. All right. And where did you buy it?
From Sean's
Daddy
store.
bought it from you?
He might have. We transferred ownership about 3 years ago, but I don't remember him purchasing that helicopter from us.
How much did you pay for it?
The whole thing was about $5,500 for everything.
What's everything?
Oh, it's the helicopter, the remote control.
All right, so what ends up happening? You take it on consignment on February 14th, and is there a consignment agreement in writing?
Yes, there is.
May I see it?
Yep.
And then you're asking about it from time to time, and when do you first learn that there's something that went wrong?
On April the 13th.
And how do you find out?
I asked Sean, what's going on with the helicopter? He says it was stolen. I said, what do you mean?
Okay, so by then you know it's been stolen. How did you learn that it was stolen?
Well, we couldn't find it. I looked all in our storage areas and everything. And so I went to the tapes. So I have a video system throughout the whole thing. And I had ended up finding out on March 14th it was stolen.
Do you have the tapes?
Yes, I
Can I
have
see 'em?
on my cell phone here.
Yeah.
Yep. So just,
Okay.
push play. And we're good.
Oh my goodness. He just reaches right on over. Where's your salesperson? Why does it look like
Well,
a
it was,
cemetery here?
3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and
Right.
Our store is shaped in an L. So there was a salesperson at the one portion, and then on our car side, and then there was.
So he reaches over, he knows it's there, it's in the window display. He
Right.
reaches over, he picks it up, and then someone's coming, so he puts it on the counter.
Right. There's 2 other helicopters on the counter that belong to me, and his helicopter was on the floor.
So he really wanted that one?
Well, from what I gather, he was in previously looking at that helicopter, so I'm assuming he probably staked it
Did one
out.
of your employees remember him?
Yes. Mhm.
But nobody has his name and can't find him? Did you call the police?
Yeah, we do have his name. And,
You do?
Yeah, and there's a arrest warrant out for the gentleman.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, or for the thief.
How long? There he goes. He takes it and just walks right on out of the store with it in his
Yep.
hand, and none of your employees notice this.
Yep.
That's
Well, on the
kind
front
of.
counter, I was looking at the other video, and they had customers in front. So on a busy Saturday, we had people walk in and out with items and cars for repair and helicopters for
right.
repair.
His premise is not with my items. You should be taking better care of my items. Now,
I think I did pretty good. It was on the floor behind the counter, so it wasn't where it was on the shelf where it was easily accessible.
you may be insulted by that comment, but he's actually making a point that 99% of the store is out and reachable, and this guy actually had to reach down into the window because yours is the one he wanted. Have you seen this video?
No, I have not seen it.
Oh, no, that's just not fair. Come on over here. Come here, darlings. There he is. He's looking around. He's seen yours. He loves yours. He reaches down. He puts it up, but there's some movement here. He hears some footsteps, so he gets nervous, so he just puts it down. It's a 2-part process for him, see? So see how these folks are coming here? He didn't want to get caught. So now he lollygags there for a little while. Says to himself, yeah, I can get away with this. Walks back. Jerk. Is that amazing?
It is.
Yeah.
Normally, there are.
Look at him, just walking right out, big smile on his face. All right,
Ma'am,
go ahead and go back there.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Normally, at that counter, there is always a person.
Yeah.
Every time I've come in, there's been a person there. And also, as you walk out the front of the store, as John said, it's an L. At the end of the L is the front door. And there's always a lady, usually right at that counter, right there, as you go out of the store.
Right. I mean, it
Normally.
looks very not well attended. Let's just put it that way. However, he has an argument, and your argument is what? Based on the contract, what?
Well, we have a standard contract when they come in and leave a consignment that Tri-County Hobbies is not responsible for loss, theft, or damage. And this is obvious
Which is,
case
I mean,
of,
you really ran the gamut there. Loss, theft, or damage. I mean, I wouldn't sign this. I wouldn't leave my, $4,000 helicopter with the guy whose first sentence is, and maybe this is the only way to sell the helicopter. So, you take the risk. It says, takes no responsibility for loss, theft, or destruction. I mean, this is a very clear waiver of any responsibility. What do I do with that?
I believe UCC takes preference over his contract because it does not specifically mention disregards UCC.
Okay, so let me explain to you what he's talking about if you don't already know. The UCC he is referring to is a Uniform Commercial Code, which governs business transactions. However, what you're saying is not entirely, are you an attorney? No, right?
No.
Okay. Did you talk to an attorney?
Yes.
Okay. An attorney who practices?
Yes.
Okay. And did he tell you that? Or she tell you that?
He went over, this is,
I know what the UCC says, but you understand that's not accurate, what you said, and you may not, so now I'm going to educate you.
Okay.
You do not have to explicitly waive the UCC in a contract. The purpose of the Uniform Commercial Code is to have one standard of business throughout the states so that, you know, we can all do business in a certain way. But that does not mean that two people can't decide to do business a different way. You always have that freedom. And so when there's a written contract like this, or even a verbal agreement between two people that's not disputed and everybody says, yeah, that's what we agreed to, you know, when there's an agreement between two people, you folks are free and can make your own agreement. And there's no nanny state that's going to tell you it's going to be otherwise. And what you two freely agreed to was that they wouldn't be responsible for theft or loss. Now, that you can waive negligence, which is what you did here. You can never waive gross negligence. That's the law. You can't waive gross negligence. So I asked myself, okay, is this gross negligence? Is this, you know, is this so outrageous and so, you know, that it's not just mere inattentiveness? And I just can't get there. I can't. Not with, you know, I mean, to me what this is inattentiveness and negligence. You guys should have been manning the store, as they say.
Right. Somebody
Somebody should have been there, hire another employee, open up your wallet and hire another employee so that you can have better control over the stuff that goes in and out of your store. For this guy to be able to not just take something, but take something that's not in the stacks, but inside. I mean, you know how careless you guys had to be for him to be able to reach. You said that in your defense. It's actually a terrible indictment. He gets to reach down, grab it, and do it successfully with nobody watching him throughout a course of a really long time. Helicopter sitting there, and then he has to cool his jets a little bit because somebody's coming around the corner. Then he cools his jets, and then, you know, I don't know how many minutes later. How long did the whole thing take him? Did you track it?
I think it was probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long time for that place, that area to be unattended. Did you fire whoever was involved or no?
No, because we have employees, like I said, that was a busy
It's your own
Saturday.
fault for not having more employees. All right, but it's not gross negligence. And he took care of negligence in this contract that you signed, where it says takes no responsibility for loss, theft, or destruction. You've gone to the authorities.
Yes.
And there's supposedly a warrant out. I want you to share with Mr. LaCaruba the detective's information so that he can follow up on that and find out what's going on. So at a minimum, if this person gets arrested, I don't know if you're going to see a penny restitution, but you can demand restitution. And you'd be surprised how much money people come up with when their criminal interests are at stake. You know,
Well, they contacted him. And the detective has talked to him and said that he is in possession of it. And he was supposed to bring it to the station, and he never did. And now he doesn't answer the detective's phone calls. So
and the detective is apparently tied to a chair and can't get up off his rear and go find the guy?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can this store get out from under the theft of this helicopter because of the contract? What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, they signed this contract, so obviously they have to stay stuck to it.
Yeah, but if you sign a contract and the other person says, we're going to protect ourselves if we screw up and we're negligent, is that right?
Yeah, actually it is. I mean, both.
So it's tough luck, right?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, tough luck?
Every contract is malleable, and you can take different language out of the contract, so.
Oh, you can, huh?
Yeah, you can.
Which court are you talking about?
Look at the Patriots.
Okay, well, okay, fair enough. Going in. Very good. That was good. Going inside the courtroom.
Does the detective know that you're here?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And he's not hustling to find the guy?
Yeah, she's been working on it. She told me.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, she needs to find the guy. Do you have the police report?
Yes, I do.
Good, because before you leave, you're going to have a copy of the police report,
I
the
have
name
a
and
copy, ma'am.
phone number to the detective, and you know what you're going to do? You're probably not going to do it because nobody ever follows up with me. I ask this all the time, and nobody does. Will you please drop me a line and tell me what ends up happening?
Yes, I have called this detective
Oh, you know the detective?
numerous times.
And what happened?
You get her voicemail that says the mailbox is full.
You're kidding me.
Constantly.
Listen to me. Call the shift commander. In fact, call the shift commander here. That's what we're going to do. Before you leave, Officer McIntosh and you are going to call the shift commander, all right? And we're going to get you in touch with what the heck is going on with that investigation. And frankly, if somebody's just sitting on it, it should be reassigned. But vis-a-vis this gentleman here, for the reasons I've already gone over in this contract, my verdict is for the defendant. Good luck.
Your Honor.
Both sides, hold that right there.
Mr. Plaintiff, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to call the shift commander. What are you doing?
I'm waiting to call, I guess.
You're going to go call him right now?
Yes.
All right, so is there any satisfaction, even though you lost the case, that at least something's going to move forward here for you?
Yes, but I still believe they are negligent.
Well, you saw the video.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the video proves their negligence because there was nobody there. And they allowed this person to walk in, pick this helicopter up, and walk right through the store and out the front door, past another person.
Well, the contract
Yes.
that you signed takes care of that. They're not responsible for stolen items. You signed it.
I thought UCC took preference.
All right. Okay, that way to the shift
you.
commander.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so step on in here. Put yourself in his shoes. How
Well, it's
would
an
you feel?
unfortunate incident. Theft occurs daily at different places, and if we do recover the items, he can have everything back. I don't want the items to be.
You gonna hire some more people over there, or was it was kind of?
Yeah,
you
we'll
are
have
going
to
to.
Yep, we've put in a couple more employees, and we've implemented some more changes around, so we know what's coming in and out of the store now.
Yeah. Over to Harvey.
Okay, Kurt, by the way, contact was made with the detective, and there is now an ongoing investigation. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Angie has made it easier than ever to hire high-quality pros to get all your home service jobs done well. Whether it's routine maintenance, an emergency repair, or a dream project, Angie lets you compare quotes from multiple local pros, browse homeowner reviews, and even book a service instantly. Angie's been connecting people with skilled pros for nearly 30 years. So the next time you have a home project, bring it to Angie to get your job done well. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
This is the plaintiff, Magdalene Ambrose. She says she hired the defendant's moving company, and not only did he grossly overcharge her, he damaged her stuff to boot. He thinks she's dumb and stupid because she's a woman, but she is a smart cookie who isn't going to allow this crook to rip her off. She's suing for $1,600, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Ronnie. He says he has no idea what the plaintiff's issue is with his moving company. But she was the one playing games with him the entire time. In fact, when he arrived with the truck full of her belongings, she was nowhere to be found. He called her 1,000,000 times with no answer and had to put the plaintiff's stuff into storage, which is the proper protocol. He even gave her a discount on the move. Oh, her. Ha! He's accused of being messy movers.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's moving company overcharged her and damaged her stuff. But the defendant says he went above and beyond. It's the case of movers and shakers.
Thank you, Douglas. Magdalene Ambrose?
Yes.
Okay, you're suing the moving company, represented here by Ronnie. You've asked us not to mention your last name or the moving company's name. For $1,600, the amount that you paid them for a move, because according to you, everything went wrong. Tell me what happened.
Or when I went online, when I moved last year, I went online to try to get a moving company, and I picked them up, and then I talked to him, the plaintiff, and
you're the plaintiff, he's the defendant. You talked to the defendant.
And he agreed to move me.
Okay. Are you the person she talked to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the price?
No, he didn't give me a price. He said he was going to charge me per hour.
Okay. What was the price per hour?
Originally it was supposed to be $106 or something, or $2. Then he went down to $100. I negotiated with him. He went down to $100.
$100 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you were moving items from a warehouse
from a storage.
A storage where?
In Long Island.
And you were taking it to where?
To Binghamton.
And Binghamton is how far from Long Island?
About 4 hours.
So 4 hours.
Give or take.
So it's the time that it takes him to pack the truck, the drive to Binghamton, New York, and then the time it takes him to unpack the truck. Okay. So then what happens?
Okay. So the next day we have an appointment to go to the storage, and I met with them. Then like around 9:45, I went in there and I helped them move the things in the storage. And when I got outside, all the things were sitting outside, and I was like, what's going on? Because the truck is supposed to be 24 feet long, and the storage is only 20 feet. And they had trouble packing the things up in the truck. So by then, it was like almost 1 o'clock, 1:45, and I was furious. And then
What day was this?
May 1st. That was May 1st, 2014.
Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go on.
And Don, who's the one in charge, of the movie, he told me, well, by the way, the movie is going to be $2,000. And
Well,
I'm
how
like,
does he know? We haven't finished yet. And it's $100 an hour.
yeah,
How
it's
does-
$100 an hour. And he said, by the way, the movie is going to be $2,000. And I said, how can the movie be $2,000? Because it's only been 3 hours. And I was upset. And I tried to call him, and I couldn't get a hold
Ronnie?
of him. Yeah, Ronnie. I
Okay.
tried calling him. I couldn't get a hold of him. I called and called and called. I couldn't get a hold of him to discuss what's going on. So I didn't talk to him. So meanwhile, I just left and up to Binghamton. And the next day, I know that they told me they will call me early in the morning to bring the things. So I didn't get a call from them. All I know is when they got there, it was like between 12 and 1 in the afternoon. So I was nowhere to be found because I had an appointment with them. They told me they would call me to let me know when they're coming. When I didn't hear from them, so I just assumed they weren't coming because it was from 12 to 1. So I had to go to work, so I left. So, and I kept getting, like, I got a few phone calls from Ronnie. And when I got home, saying
Wait,
that,
you got a few phone calls from Ronnie and what?
and he was saying that his schools are outside. I'm nowhere to be found.
And what did you
so
say?
So then I called him, and then we started arguing about the price. So he told me he dumped my stuff in the storage. But
Wait. The first time you talked to Ronnie that day, when you go to work and they haven't come, you talked to Ronnie at what time? After work or during work?
I talked to him, I think it was during work. I'm not 100% sure.
What time did you first talk to him? Because I see 5 phone calls in their phone records to you that are 1 minute long where they're trying to reach you.
They were probably leaving messages.
Right, but why aren't you on top of, you know there's a truck coming with stuff, why aren't you on top of, like, getting back to them and talking to them and telling them what to do?
No.
Because when they don't hear from you for a span of 4 hours, what did you guys end up doing?
Put her in storage in Binghamton.
They had to pick a storage in Binghamton and drop your stuff up there because you're not talking to them.
I understand that, but I tried to call him before several times when I left the storage the day before.
Okay.
And when I left the storage,
Can
I tried
I see
calling
proof
him.
of your phone records showing you trying to call him?
Oh, I don't have anything that says that. I text him. I don't have anything because I was calling him.
Okay, how many texts did you send to him?
I don't know, a few of them.
Okay, but still, what is going, okay, let's assume you sent him if you texted the day before, and what are you saying? He didn't answer you about it?
When I was leaving the storage.
I know what your worry is. Your worry is, hey, somebody told me this was going to be too expensive, and I want to talk to you about it. And that's fine, but what are they supposed to do if they can't find you and they have your stuff and they're at your house for, how many hours were you guys there?
4 hours.
So why aren't you making arrangements so that, you know, what did you think they were going to do? That's more hours on your clock anyway.
They weren't there for 4 hours.
Okay.
They were there for like about an hour. It wasn't 4 hours. It was
What
an
time
hour.
did they get there? What hour were they there?
They got there like around, when they first called me, it was around 12. As a matter of fact, my
Around
neighbor,
what?
It was around 12 or 1, between 12
So
or
they
1.
got there at 12. How did you know that they got there at 12? They left you a message?
My neighbor
Told
when I
you they
came
got
back,
here at
yeah,
noon.
My neighbor said people from the store were looking for you.
Why didn't you just leave a key with the neighbor and the neighbor could have let them know?
No, but I just moved there. I didn't know them that well.
So they got there at noon and then what? They call you how many times after that? How many times did you guys call her after that?
5, 6 times that day, and we started again the next morning.
Did you ever talk to her on May 2nd?
No, ma'am.
Oh, so where she's saying that she's negotiating price with you, that's not what's
That was
going
the day before. On May 1st, she called me. I've got the contract that said she was paying $109 per hour. And I said, yes, I'll go down to $100 per hour. When we got there, when we were originally on the phone, it was a smaller inventory. When we got there, the place was packed. So it went
Well,
from
I mean,
being-
that's, you know, when it's $100 per hour, it's $100 per hour.
Exactly.
Right.
So
But
we
how
got-
is somebody estimating it's going to be $2,000? That doesn't sound right.
It was 4 hours on the load up. We have 4 hours to Binghamton.
That's 8.
We have 4 hours back from Binghamton.
That's 12. Oh, the back.
And
I
the
wasn't
unload.
calculating that.
Correct.
So,
Plus the unload.
right. All right, well, so you talked to her about the price the day before, and how do you leave it?
So the foreman had said to her, I just want you to know the original estimate was $1,500 plus fuel surcharge, that this could go to $2,000. I'm just telling you beforehand. Normally we get paid for day one. She said she didn't have any money with her, and she would pay us in Binghamton.
Okay.
So I approved it.
Okay.
Very, very nice lady, just trying to make the move go smooth.
Okay.
When my guys got there, they'd been calling in the morning. When my guys got to Binghamton, they called me.
Show me your copy of the phone records. I want to make sure I have everything that you want me to say.
There you go. These are from my cell. This was me trying to call
That's
Maggie.
you trying to call. So these don't include him?
Correct.
Where, you didn't bring those?
He doesn't have them. Doesn't have the phone anymore. This is over a year ago.
Yeah. All right, so you trying to call her happens at 12:10, and that's a 1-minute phone call. So these are all probably messages?
Correct.
All right, then it happens again at 3:47, and according to you, he's calling her too in the meantime.
Correct.
And no one's getting her.
No, and we went to all the neighbors. We did everything we could to try to find, because we didn't want her to incur.
Were you guys supposed to be there earlier in the day?
We were leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We did leave at 6. There was some traffic. We got there right around 12.
So are moving companies generally pretty good, or do they break stuff? What do you think?
Movie companies are pretty good about not breaking things, but it all depends on what level moving company you hire.
Okay, that's a fair point. Okay, you have a house full of furniture and you hire a moving company. What are the odds that everything is going to get to the next place intact?
Intact, probably 50-50 for everything, I'd say.
And is it reasonable that they're going to break something here and there?
Yeah, with dents or scratches or something like that. I don't think it'd be, odds are something's going to get broken.
Except you're Picasso, of course, going inside the courtroom.
If you're supposed to be there at 10 and there's traffic and they get there at 12, what did they do wrong? And you left no one behind. And I can see that they're calling you at 3. He's calling, never mind what the other guy's doing. He's calling, the boss is getting involved at 12:10, 3:47, 4:12, 6:14, 6:15, and then he calls you the next day at 8:29 in the morning to find out what happened. What happened?
Okay, I did not want the movers to just dump the things because he had already told me.
Then don't go to work that day. That's what somebody else might do. You have an emergency. You call your boss and you say, I'm expecting a moving truck. I'm going to be late. I can't come in right now. I'll come in at 2 instead of 12. But do something. You did nothing and didn't return phone calls, and you just said, oh, I'll just lay low. I'll lay low and there won't be a problem. And then when I come back from work, they'll move everything and I won't get charged for the 5 hours that you're laying low. I mean, that's not going to happen.
I understand what you're saying.
Oh, gosh. So what ends up happening? How much was the bill for the storage place that you dropped it off at?
When we finally spoke, I just wanted to smooth this over, and Maggie said what she could pay, and we accepted it. $1,300.
So why are you suing for $1,600? Wait, how much did she pay you?
I got a $1,000 money order, a $200 money order, and a $100 deposit when we booked the job.
That's $1,300. You're
Yes,
suing
ma'am.
for $1,600. Why?
No, I'm suing them for $1,600 because of like the negotiation, because they wanted me to pay $2,000 for the price.
Do you have any idea how much time it took them to wait for 5 hours while you were incommunicado, which is $100 an hour that you should be paying, okay? And then have to unload everything find a place and unload everything into this is the most irresponsible conduct. I'd be so nervous if people have my stuff. I would be waiting for them to come, and they didn't come. It'd just be one more time that things don't work the way they're supposed to. Yeah, this is how life works. This is real life. And this is where you call your boss and you say, I cannot come in, or if you have to come in, because maybe your boss isn't nice, then this is where you say to your relative or friend or whoever else, hey, I need you to supervise this. Or this is where you return a phone call. Return a phone call. Let them know what's going on.
I returned the call.
Please. You basically admitted that you didn't return 4 hours worth of phone calls or say where you were because you didn't want them just moving the stuff without you there. Verdicts for the defendant.
Both sides. Hold on right there, please.
What I can't believe is that after you do that, when it's an hourly charge, a guy's nice enough to just take what you can pay and then you turn around and sue him anyway. Oh.
Well, the judge rules against the plaintiff here and can't believe your behavior in the whole bizarre story. What's your reaction?
Well, I feel that I was taken, and because they dropped my stuff in the storage, and all my things are half broken in the storage, and I feel the reason I decided to sue them is because my things are half broken after they dumped them, because they know they weren't coming back, so they just dumped my stuff, and all my things are half broken in the storage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Follow Officer back at that. Just follow him right around the corner there. All right. All right, what's your feeling on this?
I wish her the best of luck. I hope she enjoys a new home and has a great life up there.
Great guy here.
You know, this is just business. It's never personal.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, quickly, these liability limitation clauses are enforceable, so you got expensive stuff, get insurance. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, James Miller. He says he and the defendant used to date. He helped her buy a car, and now that they've broken up, she won't pay him for the balance of what's due on the car. Well, it's been over a year since their last conversation. She owes him $3,000, plain and simple, and he fully expects to get it here today. This is the defendant, Amy Hayes. She says the plaintiff was her boyfriend, and he bought her the car without ever expecting repayment. That is, until he cheated on her with another girl and she kicked him to the curb. Now he's broke, bitter, and angry, and grasping at straws with this lawsuit, and he knows it. She knows it, and soon the judge will know it too. She's accused of ignoring an ex.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants dated, broke up, and now she's stiffing him on a car. But the defendant says the car was a gift, and by the way, he cheated on her. It's the case of one good cheat deserves another.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Miller, you're suing your former girlfriend, Ms. Hayes, for $3,000 that you want her to repay you for a car that you bought for her during the time that you were together, and according to you, this was a gift and not a loan. Tell me what happened.
Well, the way it worked out was, in the beginning, we were going great. We actually wanted to move out together.
That's how it always works out, right?
Yeah, usually.
Okay.
So we wanted to move out together. For her to do that, she needed her own vehicle. My boss had a vehicle for sale.
Why would she need her own vehicle in order to move in?
For her son, to be able to get to and from work, so on and so forth. So we went into it as a verbal agreement from the get-go. She was supposed to pay me back. I paid
you back how much?
$3,000. The vehicle went for $4,000.
Did she put in? Okay, so she put some money down?
She put in $1,000.
Okay.
I paid off the rest over the course of 6 or 7 months.
So what was the plan that you had with her, according to you, about how she was and when she was going to pay you back?
There was no plan as to time-wise. It was
It could
based...
be 20 years from now?
I guess technically. It was based on, while we were dating, she could pay me what she could, when she could.
Did she ever pay you anything?
No.
What was the reason for the breakup?
The reason for the breakup was I had found information she wanted to take a break. And within that time frame, she, between two different people, between 2 days and 2 hours, already went and slept with someone.
What does she wanted to take a break mean? What does that even mean?
She wanted to take a break from the relationship.
You walk up to the person, your significant other, you say, I want to take a break. I'll be right back. Like, seriously?
That's exactly.
It's not, I want to break up, things aren't working out. It's, I want to take a break and just kind of, think and chill and date other people.
That's exactly what it was.
Did you know she wanted to date other people?
No.
Okay. What do you think break meant?
Just take a break, figure yourself out. I don't know. Whatever it was.
Okay. And how did you find out that she was dating somebody else?
I found out through a very close friend.
All right. So it was kind of a bitter breakup?
Oh, yeah.
All right. At some point, do you confront her about the money?
Yes.
And what does she say?
Well, I have an audio recording from that night that we spoke.
What does she say?
She says that she won't be able to pay me the $3,000 right away. It might take her a year. She's in the midst of moving, and a couple other things.
Let me hear from you.
Well, Your Honor, we started dating June of 2012. We had gotten the car February of 2013. It ended up finally being paid off in July of 2013. After it was paid off, I broke up with him, called him on the phone. Said,
right after it was paid off?
No, not right after. It was about 2-3 weeks later.
That's suspicious timing.
Well, no, it was, I wasn't feeling it. I told him I wanted a break. I wanted, just the time to figure out myself. We ended up getting back together in September. And then things just weren't the same after that. And we finally broke up in January of 2014.
Okay. And during any of that time, did he ask you to pay him back?
No.
Let's rewind to the time when he put the money down for you. What was the discussion that you and he had about the money?
The discussion was because things were going good. I said, I'm a single mom, it's not exactly relatively easy for me to, pay you, but I will as time goes on.
Oh, so you agree that this was a loan?
It wasn't a loan. It was, we were kind of under the thing like, I help you out, you help me out. That's what couples do.
Well, that's either a gift or a loan. Those are the only two possibilities. You're either supposed to pay back the money or you're not. What are you saying?
I mean, I took it as a gift that he was helping me out. Like, we talked about it, but it was never pursued during the relationship. He never asked me for it. He was never
Why didn't you ever ask for a single penny during, everything's hunky-dory, and it's just something that, people who are going out and building a life together do until there's a breakup. Actually, not even until there's a breakup, until after there's a second breakup. That's when you, for the first time, say something about her owing you money?
Because in the long run, I would have loved to have had an actual lifetime with her.
And
so
if you had a life with her, would you have ever demanded she pay back the money?
In the wash at that point, it would have came out.
Okay, so that's exactly what she's saying it is. It's something that's just you wash my hand, I wash yours. It's just stuff couples do.
But it was never a gift.
So, who takes advantage of who more in the money department, men or women? Be honest.
I'd probably have to go men.
Really?
I would.
Why?
I just think it's more common.
What do you think?
Same.
Oh, you think men as well? Anybody think women around here? Wow. Going inside the courtroom.
So it turned into a loan once you guys broke up.
It was a loan from the get-go. She knew from the start that she was supposed to pay me back.
Why was there never one single effort during the course of the time that you guys dated, which was a whole year, and minus some months, never a demand for payment? For example, you guys are broken up from July through September, and you never demanded payment during that time.
No, because we remained cordial.
And then what happened now to change all that?
Seeing that she traded the vehicle in for a brand new one.
Oh, how did you see that? Facebook?
Yep.
Of course. All right, so you have an audio that you want me to listen to?
If you're willing to listen, yes.
Go ahead.
I have no recollection of the audio. He never told me he was recording me or anything.
I'm sure he didn't. This is New Jersey.
Yes,
it's a one-party consent state. That means if one of the two people talking knows the tape is happening, which of course he did because he's the taper, then the tape is admissible. In Florida and in many other states, it's actually a third-degree felony.
I've heard of that, ma'am.
Right. But unfortunately for you, you're in New Jersey.
I'm sorry to hear.
Under these circumstances, New Jersey's lovely. Okay.
Any way, shape, or form paying me back for this car? Since that was a verbal agreement that me and you had to begin with before we went in on it?
What were you thinking?
So he says to you, do you have any intentions of paying me back for this car, since that was our verbal agreement before we went into this? And your answer is, what were you thinking? Not, what are you talking about? That was a gift.
Because it wasn't talked about throughout the whole...
The only reason I went into it is because of the fact that you said that you would pay me back eventually, over time.
I can't afford $3,000.
You have to pay me back somehow. I'm not saying all at once.
Once I get more on my feet, once I move, we can arrange something. Because I don't know exactly where I'm ending up right now.
Okay, but the way we're leaving it as right now, you intend to pay me back or you don't? I need a yes or no answer.
Because I'm taping you.
I'm not doing $3,000. I can't do that.
So you're saying you can't pay off the money that I put into this car for you that I was supposed to get back?
It'll take a couple years. It's not.
That's what he's hinging his hat on. You saying it'll take a couple of years, but at no point in time do you say, what are you talking about? I was never supposed to pay this back to you, ever. This was a gift that you gave to me. And I have to tell you that this tape gives me the general flavor that it's something for you to pay back. Would you not say that, based on what you just heard yourself saying there?
Right.
Right. Let me suggest to you, Mr. Miller, that if you want to rain $3,000 on a girlfriend, either do it because it comes from your heart or get a promissory note with a payment plan. And why did you wait a year to bring it to court after this? The tape was a year and a half ago. Why did you wait so long to bring it to court?
I wasn't sure of how to break the audio file off of the phone. And
It took you a year and a half to figure that out?
But here's the thing, there are other things on there that the court should never hear.
Like what?
I don't want to get into that.
Like what? Now I'm interested. What do you suppose else was on there?
Lord knows.
Okay, well, that's a case for another day for another judge. This one's done, $3,000, verdict for the plaintiff.
That sends the defendant out into the hallway here on the losing end of the case. What's going through your mind here?
I'm just happy it's all done.
What have you learned?
I'm just happy it's all done.
Why didn't you say when he was talking to you about the loan, why didn't you say, hey, what are you talking about? I don't owe you this money. Why
I honestly just didn't even want to talk to him, so I just stayed as quiet as I could when the recording happened.
You didn't know he was recording, of course.
But I still didn't want to be near him. I just didn't want to talk to him. So I just wanted him pretty much to get out of my car and just.
So you wouldn't say that? You wouldn't say anything?
I just stayed quiet, yeah.
Like you are right now? All right.
All right, ladies, if you would right this way.
All right, step on in here. You win your case, but how you feeling coming out of there, having to taper like that to win?
Well, I mean, I did what I had to do. I'm glad that I was able to get what I was owed, and that's it.
What else is on that tape?
I'm not going to get into that. That's not my problem.
Okay, Harvey?
Okay, now, Kurt, so, we do this a lot. Whether something's a loan or something's a gift, the presumption is going in that it's a loan. And if there is clear evidence, and only if there is clear evidence to the contrary, does it become a gift.